Hey YouTube, Tim here. Quick update on the 1997 Harley-Davidson Y-Glide that is an FXDWG. Put a tag in the bike yesterday. Wanted to take it out for a little bit better shakedown run. Previous video I mentioned that I had taken it around the block, literally around my small block in my neighborhood, 1/10 of a mile, just to warm it up so I could change fluids on it. And I wanted to take it out for a better test run so I could see what was going on with the bike. Had a thoroughly enjoyable ride. It is so much fun to ride this motorcycle. It's such a different experience than riding my Road King. And it's exactly what I wanted it to be. It we were into, my wife and I had classic cars before when we moved. When we lived in New York, we had a much bigger house. We had a couple of Corvettes and a 66 Mustang. We had toys. And we relocated down here. We downsized considerably. Don't have an outbuilding. Don't have any of that. And this is going to fill that gap for me. This is going to be my cool little toy to play around with and blast around town on. So in the way it runs and the way it feels, it will definitely do that. I completely enjoy it. It ran great. Didn't stop real well. I read that dyno brakes aren't great. I've got no experience with dynos or, with that. So if any of you, I'll be going through the brake system as when I finish this bike. I think I'll go through it, all hydraulics on it, redo the calipers and the master cylinders and get new brake lining. I'm an organic brake pad guy because I don't ride real fast. My brakes have to work real well at normal operating temperatures, not high heat situations. And in my experience, organic pads always work the best for me, but let me know in the comments. I'm sure there are people out there that know way more than I do about any of this stuff, so let me know what kind of components you like to use to make your bike stop to the best of their ability. But that's all kind of a moot point right now. See, I didn't put the exhaust back together, the heat shield's back on, because it's all got to come back apart. I do have an issue. I had done this exhaust mount that there was nothing going through the top of that bracket to that ear on the bearing support plate. Sorry, trapdoor. Harley calls it a trapdoor, which I think is a misleading term. It's a bearing support plate for the transmission. That's what it is, but we'll call it a trapdoor. But nothing was there, and the bottom part of the bracket had a super long bolt and a super long spacer, and it wasn't tight. It was so long that it literally wouldn't fit between the pipe and the bracket. It had, it was like you had to wedge it in there and it would push outward on the pipes. So and the threads are boogered up because that bolt was actually loose, and this was all bouncing and wobbling around for who knows how long. So the threads back in the transmission case were a little damaged. But I cleaned them up, and I had run a bolt. I purchased a bolt and spacers because that goes through that bearing support plate, trapdoor, and threads into the case. So I had taken careful measurements and measured my bolt, and in putting this together the way I have it, was able to obtain proper torque tightening these. In fact, didn't make me nervous at all. Torqued like there was no problem. So I got further back into good threads. You know what I mean? The bolt didn't go all the way in. So the outer threads were pretty boogered, but the threads all the way in were great. So I just went deeper in and was able to torque it to spec. It was great. So I know I've got it all tight. But after my ride, got a fluid leak right where I was afraid I would. I'm going to try to get a picture of this. I've tried to do this video a couple times, and every time I do this, I end up not being able to get it. But if you look, get the view here for you. And so there is fluid right on my pan, and if you follow that up, you will see that it is leaking right out the corner of that bearing support plate, which is right where the exhaust mount is. Try to get the light to where you can see it better. Little trail of fluid coming right out, right where that corner. And that trapdoor meets the case, and it's collecting on that pan bolt there and dripping down. And it doesn't look bad there now because I had ridden it 10-12 miles yesterday, and it leaked a bunch and got it all soaked. So I wiped it all off and then just took it for a couple-mile ride this morning, and that's a clear streak of fluid coming right out that corner, which means that gasket that's there is probably damaged from being loose and moving around and all that was going on. So, unfortunately, the transmission works so good that I am not going to ride it until I fix that leak because I don't want to hurt it. I don't want to hurt the transmission. I'm very happy with it. It's quiet. It's silent. I wish I could find neutral on my Road King. As easy as I can on this. It just feels fantastic. I have no bearing noise or nothing. But that's a pretty common, I've never been into one of these, but it's a pretty common setup. A lot of manual transmissions and automobiles use that. In fact, that's my old work toolbox over there. And down over in the bottom of those drawers over there, I have all the transmission tools for Tremec 6-speeds that I purchased for myself because I used to do a lot of them. And it's common. You have a support plate with bearings pressed into it, and then you press your gear train down into those bearings, and then you insert the entire assembly into the case. That seems to be the way this is from everything I can see. All the information I can find out is you pull that out as an assembly, which means I'm going to have to take the primary side apart and get everything off the input side here, the clutch and all that stuff apart, so I can pull this whole thing out this side. I don't know if there's a way to leave all that intact and pull the bearing support plate. You would literally have to pull the support plate off of the bearings, take the bolts off the two shafts, and pull the support plate off of the bearings, and then press it back on. And the reason I'm talking about that is my only issue is that whatever's causing that leak, I assume the gasket is cracked from that moving around or broken. It might not even be there anymore. If there is even one there, I don't know. The parts catalog shows a gasket there, but who knows? Maybe somebody's into it and there's just sealer. I don't know. Got to take it apart and look at it and see what it needs. So if any of you out there have a cheat or a fix that you know where the support plate can come off so that I can just replace that seal, clean that up, probably go ahead and put a time cert in those lower thread holes just so I feel better about those, although I feel pretty good about them now. But and then just put that back on, but I don't really know. I think I could get it off. I think I could push against the shafts and get it apart. I just don't know how I'd get it back on. I'd have to figure that out. Get it back on square without hurting the bearings of the support plate and make sure it goes together all the way. Because I don't want to hurt the transmission at all. It works perfectly. So I'm a little bummed. And the reason I'm a little bummed is I don't really have time to, I can't really spend any more time on this bike right now. I'm retired and I have 4,000 projects going on at once. I thought I'd have more time available to me once I retired and stopped working. However, it seems I have less time. I have just so many projects going on, and I can't really afford to give this bike any more time right now. I've got some other bigger fish I need to fry right now. My wife purchased a boat. It has a fluid leak in the lower unit, so I have to take that apart and fix that so that we can get out and do some fishing. It's prime fishing time. We love to fish, so I have to get on that. Got a bunch of landscaping to do on the side of my yard. I widened my gate on the side of my house so I could back camper up alongside the house and get into the backyard easier. Our property is sloped, so in doing that, I kind of notched the property out to build the gate wider, which worked great, but now I've got to do the landscaping, and it looks horrible. It's looked horrible for a long time. I got to fix it, along with a million other things to do. I got to do a little work on the Road King. The reason I was in kind of a rush to get this off, when I wanted to ride it, I was hoping this would work out. It'd be my cool around town ride, but that didn't work out. But I don't have a lift, motorcycle lift. I have this jack. Is all I have. And I need to get the Road King up on that jack because I've changed the fluids on it. It's due for a primary fluid change. And when I got my Road King, I bought it, ran it to Harley real quick because I was still working at the time, had him do a 3-hole oil change. And I took it on a trip. I rode it very aggressively for almost 1,000 miles. I took it to the tail of the Dragon, rode that a bunch, Chiola Skyway, and rode it real aggressively. Well, during that trip, the primary chain tensioner, they have a automatic primary chain tensioner nose, and it ratcheted itself out so tight that my transmission started screaming. It was really noisy. I took that cover apart, and the chain tensioner was so tight, they're cold, there was no play in my primary chain. So I'm not a big fan of those self-adjusting primary chain tensioners. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not. So I took it out, and I put a Hayden primary chain tensioner in there, which has worked great. It's been in there about 12,000 miles, but I haven't looked at it since I put it in there, so I need to get in there and just double check it, make sure the shoe's not worn, make sure the springs look good. Still look good. As I'm having no issues with it, so I'm sure everything's going to be fine. But I want to take a peek at it, make sure it's good, which means I got to pull the outer cover off to look at that. I've got new seals over there for that. So I needed the jack so I can get the Road King up in the air because I'm too old to be working on the ground. Can't do it anymore. Hurts my back to sit down and bend over and do that. So I probably need to buy a lift. I missed a deal on a handy lift a couple months ago. I'm really mad at myself. Saw a real good deal on a handy lift, and I waited a couple days, and when I called the guy, it had been sold. Don't really want to buy a Harbor Freight lift. They just look kind of flimsy to me. I want something that I can put my Road King up on solidly and not worry about it folding. A lot of guys use the cheaper lifts, I know, but kind of want a more solid lift. But in the meantime, I've got one way to lift bikes up, so I have to use my jack. So I'm a bit bummed because I don't have time to fix this right now. So it's going to get shoved back in there somewhere out of the way so I can get some other things done that I have to do. Don't know when I'll be posting about this bike again because I've got other stuff to do. But if any of you know of a shortcut on that bearing support plate, it'd be great if you were to advise me of that. I've been searching on the interweb, and I don't really see anything. I saw one forum where a guy said that somebody said they were able to pull the bearing support plate off without pulling the gear train. That would be a lot less time if I could do that. I mean, I'll buy if there's a puller available for that, a puller and an installer available for that, just tell me. I will buy it and do that because I could probably knock that out in a couple hours. Pull the exhaust back off, pull my clutch cover off, pull a plate off, clean that all up, throw my time cert in, new gasket, seal, put that back together again, torque it all down, I'd be good. And that would allow me to ride this bike, which is what I really want to do because I am so looking forward to riding this bike. It's so close, it's not funny. But, yeah, so if any of you know a shortcut, please let me know. That and any upgrades I can make to the stock brake system to make it stop a little better. Those of you that are in the know and know what you're doing, let me know. So, yeah, a little depressed, a little bummed, but, best laid plans of mice and men, I guess, Anyway, y'all take care. Bye.